Hello guys, Nick C. I've been playing around with this thing again, and because T1000 had requested an air coil, I built this air coil, and it's got a, I don't know, I think it's 100 ohm resistor on there, and that rusty clip is going to my ground line, which is this. It ends up over here on my red ground line, which this coil is mounted on. Now my scope is hooked up to one end there, but the other clip is just hanging there. Why? Because if I connect it, I just kill whatever signal I'm sending from the high voltage, which is this Kacher, onto the ground. So this white line here is a ground line to the emitter of the transistor there, so it's grounded through the emitter. On this setup, I can't ground to the base like others have done. If I have a different setup, I can, but not with this one. So in any case, I have this other coil here to put on to the 3-turn coil, which is this red cap here, WEMA cap. And I just haven't gotten around to it because I've been playing around with the ground thing and trying to get the high voltage to give me some kind of response there. And so far, I just have a voltage response. I'm not haven't done the current thing yet. But anyway, let me turn this. Now, what I'm going to turn on is the induction circuit, okay? So with the induction circuit, I get, well, let's see, that's what the signal looks like. And the yellow, funny thing here though, is that it was, at least when I first started, it was ringing, and I haven't heard it ringing in a while. But anyway, this is kind of the signal that the induction circuit puts out. Let me adjust it. The yellow is the signal from the ground. Right now it's going berserk there. It's only got 13 volts, but it's jumping around on the megahertz. And the blue coil is the output. It's just buzzing away. It's also hooked up to, well, it just kicked off. Okay, let me just turn it off. Anyway, that gives you some idea. This is with the high voltage on. Let me, I gotta get away from the coil here to adjust this a second. And this is with the Kacher on. Now why it's going up and down like that, I'm not sure. That's what it's doing. And right now it's at 1.1, I guess goes 1.1, 1.2 megahertz on the Kacher. But the funny thing was that on this, the signal from this coil here got up to 3 megahertz there for a while. But this thing is just it's just a tease. I mean, it's hard to know what the heck's going on or what to do, but I built that coil that T1000 recommended, and I'm using it, and this is the first phase. I just heard this device ringing, which I haven't heard it ringing in a while, but it's funny, just with the Kacher on, I get a signal to my feedback power supply. This is the power supply that sends the signal back into the induction circuit, and the Kacher has got a separate input right now. just 18 volt. No, I think it's 24 volts and like an amp and a half or something. It's not a real strong one. But just through that, I get a signal all the way to the power supply. What happens though is if I draw more than 6 amps, the adapter that I've got hooked up kicks off, like it just did a little while ago. And so this is the signal from the just the Kacher signal there. Again, the yellow trace is the coil on the ground line, which is tuned to about 13 megahertz, 12, 13 megahertz. So it's picking up any megahertz, and it'll jump up there to 3 megahertz and stuff. It just, it's totally unsteady. I'm just trying to get a handle on any of this and see what I can do about it. Just thought I'd let you know and show you that. Like I said, it's still pumping a little bit, almost enough, just the Kacher to run the power supply, but not quite enough. Anyway, that's what I've gotten so far. Thanks for watching, guys.